Welcome back to Bingers Bricks. My name is Ben. Today we have a few things brewing in the Lego City. First, we are going to tile off our beautiful park area next to our Lego courthouse. Secondly, we're going to talk a little bit more about an upcoming live stream that we'll be doing next week. And then thirdly, we are going to be taking our beautiful Hogwarts train, getting rid of it, and talking about what train is going to replace it. Let's get started. Here we go. Today is the day when we finally get to sprucing up the area next to the Lego courthouse and really just kind of bring it to life over here. It is very plain, and it is something that I want to try to bring a little bit more attention to today. And how we're going to do that is we are going to start with a few pieces. Again, all these pieces, except for our trans blue tiles that we have over here, all these pieces have been something that we've gotten from the pad wall. We've been very lucky to have some awesome pieces on the pad wall, so nice to be able to utilize those today. First, we have our fountain. Right, I actually really like our little fountain. It's really cool. I actually found some of these like little 5-cent pieces, like people are flipping coins into the little fountain. So thought that was cool. Again, nothing too extraordinary, but definitely something that I think will bring a little bit more attention to our fun in the park area, is I guess what we're going to call it. The next part that we're going to be working on is just adding a little bit more trees to our greenery area over here as well. Just using some of our 2x2 bricks, brown arches, and some of our other leaf elements. And then this one, kind of same thing, except for we're using our 2x2 circular brown brick. And then looking at some more of our other like tree elements, I guess, you know, they're probably more like bushes if you compare them to our other trees that we've made. And then lastly, using some of our fence pieces along with the brick to create enclosed area over here. The primary pattern that we're going to be using with some of our tiles that we got from the pad wall is just kind of our 1x1 tiles enclosing our 2x2 white tiles. So I'm excited to kind of get that started and see how it turns out. Here we go. Well, we are about halfway done with our tiling, and I really like the contrast between some of the different color tiles that we're using. I think the fence barrier looks pretty good, really using some of those leftover pieces that we had from the pad wall, and then our fountain obviously looking great as well. Now, I know it's going to be a question as to why we use the light bluish gray plate around the edging. Honestly, the biggest reason is because underneath, if it was still green along the edge, you would be able to see that plate all around the ledge, especially underneath here on our barriers. So wanted to keep it a little bit more cohesive. I like the different grays working against each other here, so that is why we kept that. Now, I kept the green plate underneath our tiles primarily because we were running out of tiles, but also because I don't think you can see the plate underneath here. It doesn't necessarily stick through, so we just kind of kept it because we're running out of plate here. So now when we started this, we had a plan. I don't think we have executed that plan perfectly, so let's take a look at a few other things we need to change. So yeah, tiling's looking great, but one thing we forgot is that we are adding trees and bushes into our park area. So we do have to go back, put those in. I think what we're going to do for the bushes is we're going to put those just along the edge here as we have some of our white tiles, kind of replacing those white tiles so that we can put some studs there so that those will stay in place. And we'll do that the same thing on the other side as we start to finish that. I think for our trees, what I'll do is I'll probably place one right along here. It has to be far enough in so that the train, as the train's coming by, it doesn't hit those trees. So I think that's where we're going to put those. Now, for the meantime as well, it's a park area. With this being tiled off, it's not as much of like a play area. So I do want to be able to put spots where people can sit. So I ran out to our little piece wall and just trying to kind of see what we have in our inventory. These aren't great, but it's kind of what we have for now. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to push these just right up against our trees and have those so people can come in, kind of sit down in our little park area. I think it's really going to start bringing it together. My area over here is really where I want to try to put something like a, I don't know, like a soccer area or potentially like a basketball court, maybe even like a tennis court, just something that is a little bit more playful, just to kind of bring everything else to life. But let's get back to it and let's start making some of those adjustments. Well, we made some of those adjustments, putting in the benches, getting the bushes in, adding the squirrel in from the A-frame cabin, but we do have to add in our two larger trees. So our smaller tree of the larger tree is going to go right in the front here, and then we're also going to add in our larger tree in the back. Now, I did make a couple modifications here, adding in some tile on the bottom there, creating a little bit more of like a sitting platform, not specifically for the bunny, but did add him in there as well. We did do a couple passes by with the Hogwarts train just to make sure that it's not hitting the tree. Now, if you saw the beginning of the video, we did chuck the Hogwarts train behind her back, crashed it, and I did go back and put it back together, as I just had to make sure that the trees weren't going to bother the train that is going to replace Hogwarts. So I'm super excited to talk about that. Now, thank you for sticking by. Let's go check out what train's going to replace it. So it's been a big week. We've actually purchased 3 larger sets, and yes, one of them was a new train for the LegoCity. The other 2 were actually larger sets, and one of them, I will give you a hint, it is currently on back order on Lego's website. The third one, I'm gonna wait to save that because we are going to be doing a live stream on September 6th, Wednesday night, and I would love for everybody to join. It'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so please make sure you come. And, we'll chat a little bit more about upcoming Lego sets and probably talk a little bit more about Gringotts, since that's a huge one that's coming out here September 1st. So look forward to seeing everybody there. Again, that's September 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, enough about our live stream coming up. Let's talk more about what train set is going to replace the Hogwarts Express and the LegoCity. Now, we posted a poll about 9 to 10 days ago in the community tab on our YouTube channel, and we had 42 people vote. And I'm happy to say that the set that won the voting is set 60051, the high-speed passenger train. Now, I received a lot of great feedback, a lot of great comments, and just helpful insight on which set we should go with. After thinking this over and hearing from all of you, we went with an awesome set, and it was actually set 60051, the white high-speed passenger train. I loved all 3 sets. I think all 3 sets bring something unique to Lego Cities, and I want to talk a little bit more about why we actually chose set 60051. When looking into choosing a train set for the LegoCity, there were really only 2 things that we looked at. First was overall looks. We wanted a train that was going to stand out, but not look out of place. The second thing we looked into was really just the minor mechanics of the trains. Now, I wanted it to make sure that it had a motor, it had a remote, but then also have the ability to potentially add on a couple passenger cars in the future as well. There were really a lot of pros and cons to each set, and want to just briefly go over a few for the other 2 sets that we didn't choose. For the 2 train sets that we didn't pick for our LegoCity, I just wanted to highlight a few pros and cons. And the first set I wanted to highlight is set 60337, or the green passenger train. Now, this is the newest version. I do love that this set has doors for passengers that actually work, and the front headlights that actually light up is a big plus for me. The couple things I didn't like were the overall color scheme, which really didn't like the green, and I didn't love the pointiness of the nose in the front as well. I do have to say, when looking at the reviews, this thing is fast. I mean, it honestly looks like it may be faster than the other 2 trains, but I don't own all 3, so I can't give you an exact speed for the overall trains as well. Now, the one thing I will say as a quick side note is that there are some alternate builds that you can actually look at on Rebrickable that will give you the pieces so that you can replace those green pieces and change those out for a different color that you'd like for your LegoCity. Honestly, thought that was pretty cool and something that we may look into here in the future. When taking a look at the second set that we didn't choose, set 60197, the big knock on the set that we chose, right, the high-speed passenger train, is that it doesn't have doors that work and doesn't necessarily have doors. Well, set 60197 really tried to make it look like it had doors, but seemed to fail in that area, in my opinion, as well. Also, the colors honestly just don't do it for me. So, still a great train, but definitely one that wasn't on the top of our list to get. I do think that, again, the high-speed passenger train is going to be a great set for our LegoCity, as I think it's going to stand out, but just not look out of place. And again, the biggest thing that's kind of hindering us for adding more train sets into LegoCity is the just overall size. So We may have to ask the wife at some point if we can expand. After reviewing some of the different train set possibilities that we could use within our Lego City, I honestly am thinking that I'm going to start collecting more and more of these sets and potentially collect all of them. That is, if I can talk my wife into letting me take over the main living area upstairs as my Lego room. Honey?
No.
I can't say that doesn't hurt, but fair. Three major things going on right now, right? We just bought our high-speed passenger train and we're excited to get that built, put in the Lego City. We're coming up on 700 subscribers, currently at 694. Excited to get to 700 as we will be doing another Lego giveaway at that 700 mark. And then we are going to be taking a deep dive into the space within our Lego City. I've mentioned previously that in the past 48 hours, we have actually bought 3 major sets, 2 of which are modulars. And so with 2 open base plates, we're running out of room real fast. So we're gonna have to take a look at our layout and see how we can change things up to just accompany a new set that's gonna come out January 1st and potentially the new Avengers Tower coming out later this year. So we're gonna have to take a look at that. Make sure you jump on our live stream September 6th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. And then just make sure you stay tuned. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Make sure to like, subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.